Okay, these are 18 lessons I wish I knew at the age of 18, and here's why you should listen to me. These are lessons that I've noticed not only within myself, but within all my peers and other people. And I've been through school, university, applied to jobs, started a business, posted on social media. I was a super shy person to being an extremely social person. I was super skinny to being like at least a relatively decent body. And so these are 18 lessons that I hope you find useful. Okay, first one. 99% of people are super open to being spoken to, but 99% of people don't know this, so no one really speaks to each other. So you have to be the initiator. And I really realized this because I was a socially anxious person. And I set a minimum goal for myself that I would speak to like one person every single day. And after I did that for about a month, there was like literally every single person I spoke to was extremely open to being spoken to. And I had a really good conversation with them. And that really made me wonder, why don't people do this more often? And so I would like speak to my friends and they would be like, I don't know how you go and speak to these people. Well, like they just don't realize that everyone is so open to being spoken to. Like literally just go and say hi to these people. Your life is gonna be so much better and so much more fun. Okay, next one. Social activities are felt, not thought into. And what I mean by this is when you're thinking of going and approaching someone or having a conversation with someone, it's not that you can think your way into these conversations, which means that you can't really think that, oh, I should ask thoughtful questions about this person. You can't have these thoughts in your mind while you're having the conversation with that person. So you can't think that, am I asking thoughtful questions? Am I making enough eye contact? Am I being interesting enough? Like that's not how social conversations are done. And if you're thinking your way into these conversations, if you're an overthinker, like that is not the way to go about it. The way social activities are done is you just feel it. And so whenever this overthinking arises in your brain, where it's like, I don't know what to say, what do I do? Just tell yourself, I'm here to be myself and I'm here to have fun. That is the only way you get good at social conversations, is by feeling it, not thinking your way into it. Have you ever thought of like, maybe I should go and approach this person, but the more you think about it, the more and more difficult it gets? But if you were, as soon as the thought popped up in your mind, if you just went and you spoke to that person and you just felt it, you just had fun, you just were yourself, life would be so much easier. So stop like overthinking, stop like doing these different things. Social activities and connecting with humans is just something you feel rather than what you think. Discomfort is a skill that you can build tolerance for. And the way I realized this is that I was always a person that was undisciplined. I would literally watch, like I would doomscroll, play video games, stuff like that, get nothing done throughout the day. But now I work like most of the day and I'm pretty productive. And the way I built this is by actually just training the skill of being uncomfortable, of the skill of discipline. And so the way I realized this is that whenever you're working on something, I want you to think of it this way. Whenever you're working on something, you're doing two things at once. One, you're doing the skill that thing requires. So say if you're editing videos, you're using the skill of editing the video, but you're also using the skill of doing that thing even when you don't necessarily feel like doing that thing. And always remember, your brain is not good at doing two things at once. And so what you need to do is isolate the skill of discomfort and train it separately. And the way you do this is by literally doing cardio, like literally just running on a treadmill. Because no matter how much you run on a treadmill, there will always be a point where you reach where you wouldn't feel like running anymore. And the only thing that would push yourself to run more is just your willpower. So by reaching that point of discomfort and by pushing through it, you really just train that skill of being uncomfortable, and it really does translate over to all the different things that you do in your life. And if you think that you can't really run because you're unfit, bro, like get rid of that idea in your mind, because there's people who are so unfit, never ran a day in their lives, but literally ran like 3 kilometers just because they saw a motivational video by like David Goggins, right? So you can do it. Okay, next one. Sleep is the most important thing you can do for all aspects of your life, including looks, career, social, absolutely anything, even discipline. And if you're not prioritizing your sleep, bro, like you are living life on like 10% of your capability. Even one night of bad sleep like really reduces the quality of life that you have. And you might not necessarily feel it, but it's happening, I promise you. And the people that know what I'm speaking about know how correct this is, because they truly do realize the importance of good sleep. So before you obsess over what skill to master, before like thinking about like approaching people and leveling up your social skills or trying to earn money or post on social media, you need to fix your sleep before that. That will come first. Next one, you have 99 problems till you have a health problem, then you have only one problem. Which means that you should always prioritize your health no matter what. Health always comes first. It's your own health, then it's your relationship, then it's your work, it's your discipline, that's how you should always order it. So never compromise your health, and get rid of this notion in your life that you're here for a short and good time and not a long time. Like that might be the most dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Because you can have a good and long life. And I'd argue the best life lived is a healthy life, where you're not like smoking all the time, where you're not drinking alcohol all the time, where you're actually taking care of your health. Your mood is better, your sleep is better, your social activities are better, your discipline is better, your career is better, like everything in your life skyrockets when you're healthy. So get rid of this notion in your mind. There was a story I heard of someone. It was this author, it was some disease, I don't exactly know like what the exact details of this are, but there's this condition called ALS, where you completely get paralyzed in your entire body, right? And so there was this person who would treat ALS patients, it was a doctor, and she was like, if I ever get ALS and I get in that situation where I'm completely paralyzed and the only thing I can move is my eyes, like I want you to, like, I literally want to die. Like I don't want to live at that point anymore. And then it actually ended up happening that she ended up getting ALS and she was in that exact position. And when they were like, okay, well, do you want to live? Guess what her answer was? She still wanted to live. So don't tell yourself that you're here for a good short time and try to like ruin your health just because of that. Like use that as an excuse. No, you're here for a good long time. Looks significantly change how people treat you in first impressions. Now, I know this is pretty obvious. If it isn't to you, like it is pretty obvious. Like I was a ugly little skinny kid, and comparatively now I have leveled up my looks in some aspects, and the way people used to treat me before versus how they treat me now is just completely different. So learn to also prioritize your looks, your hygiene, and how you come across to others. Pain and joy are next door neighbors, which means if there's something you absolutely hate because you're not good at doing that thing, then that means once you actually get good at doing that thing, you'll love it. And this is with almost anything. If you hate speaking to people, or if you hate like approaching people because you just feel extremely uncomfortable, once you force yourself to do it and once you actually get good at it, you're gonna love doing it, bro. It's gonna be like literally the thing that you love the most. It's a lot with like people that really work extremely hard as well. They were forced to work hard because they had to provide for themselves and their family. But once they got used to it and once they got good at it, and once they made enough money, if they tried to like get away from their laptop, they'd be like, nah, I low-key really like this. Like I wanna do this more because I'm good at it and it gives me purpose and it gives me joy. Earlier they hated it, but once they got used to it, they love it now. This is the exact same thing with almost anything in life. So if you really hate something, if you're really suffering with something, I promise you, once you get good at it, joy is almost right there. It's just a next door neighbor. Conflict delayed is conflict multiplied. Always remember this. If you have a fight with someone, sort it out as soon as possible. And I literally mean even one day makes a difference. Because if you have a fight with someone and you don't sort it out, that person is constantly thinking about it, has more time to like make more negative things about you and about the situation. And so they start like connecting it to like all these different things and start like making more meanings of it. And so the next time when you have that conversation with them, you're like, whoa, like where did all of this come from, right? And that's how you see the resentment grows bigger with time. Like families that have had fights for like years and years and haven't sorted it, now literally hate each other. So you have to try and sort things as soon as possible. Okay, Newton's law, every action has an equal and opposite reaction, applies to everything. The more disciplined, the more pain you put in, the more the results are. The more uncomfortable the conversation in a relationship, the more important it is for the relationship. This is just a rule with everything. So if there's something in your life where you haven't achieved the things that you want to do, like think of it as like an equation. If you're not getting the output you want, well, what is the input that gives you that output? And if you want this level of success, you need this level of input. If you want that level of success, you need that level of input, right? So think about it this way. Okay, next one. If you're scared to post online, then that means you're still not ready to be successful because you still care too much about what others think of you. Whether you decide to actually post is different. So whatever you want to do in life, whether it's be socially more proficient, whether it is be more disciplined, start your own business, gain a big social media following, whatever it is, you will get a lot of judgment from a lot of people. And that is just a fact of life. If you want to do well in life, there's going to be a lot of people that judge you, like 100%. And so if the thought of posting online scares you, then that means you're still like care too much about what other people think. And so you need to get rid of this fear if you want to make it in life. Next one, completely cut out doom scrolling. And yes, this sounds kind of obvious, but you really need to cut out doom scrolling, because it's not just like the habits that it breeds, which are bad. Like obviously you just sit and you just waste time, but it's also the mental brain power that takes away. Like that time that you could have spent like doing something else, you were doom scrolling, and it's like a doubly like exponential effect that it has on your life. And not only that, even if you scroll like in between like sets at the gym, or even if you scroll like in between like something you're waiting at work, you're waiting for someone to get back to you, whatever it is, those thoughts that you're occupying with scrolling, you could have used those thoughts for something more useful. And it's whenever you're bored, whenever you have nothing to do, that's when your best insights come to you. Any person you will ask, they will be like, when I go on a walk or when I'm bored, that's when the best ideas come to me. And those ideas can literally change your life. Like imagine if you wake up one day and you get the idea of like, whoa, like I really should be like focusing more on my health. That idea, that one idea can change the rest of your life. If you wake up one day and you're like, I should really start to like live my life more, I should start to be more social. Or if you wake up one day and you're like, maybe I'm not doing this thing well in my business, I should change that. That one thing can change your entire business. So the amount of brain power you're putting towards doom scrolling is an absolute waste of your time and your brain power. So you need to cut that out, and you need to start being bored. You need to be okay with doing nothing. Next one, always plan the night before. I've learned that if you don't plan the night before, you're so much more likely to procrastinate the next day. Because when you wake up and you have 6 things on your to-do list, you randomly like start one, right? Whenever you're done with that one, your brain has to pick which one to pick next. So when it's in that state of indecision, it picks the easiest one, or it picks something like Instagram. So you need to plan the night before so that you can tell yourself what you're going to do from like 11 a.m. to like 1 p.m. and then what you're going to do from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. And so by not leaving your decision making to in the moment, and by deciding in advance, you can actually progress on things so much faster, and you'll be so much more productive. Because I promise you, like 9 out of 10 times, if you leave your decision making to in the moment as to what you're going to do next, your brain is just going to pick what's the easiest. But if you plan the night before, literally almost as like a program that your brain has to follow, you're going to wake up and you're going to look at that and you're going to be like, okay, but what am I supposed to do right now? You're going to be like, okay, I need to work on this. Then once that timer hits, you're like, okay, what do I need to do now? Then you just follow that without thinking. But if you let yourself think, and if you let yourself make those decisions, you're probably just going to like end up wasting your time. Next one, stop relying on discipline and start setting up your environment in the way in which it's easiest for you to do the thing that you set out to do. Now, the most productive people in life aren't the most disciplined people. They're just the ones that have tweaked their environment in such a way. And so what this means for you is stop relying on willpower, bro. Like if your phone is next to you and you keep getting distracted by your phone, like understand that that is normal. These organizations like Instagram and TikTok are paying billions to distract you, like billions. And you're just one tiny person with like very limited resources, right? You need to understand that. So the only way to be disciplined and have willpower is to tweak your environment in such a way where it is the easiest for you to do the thing that you set out to do and eliminate distractions. So what this means for you is switching off your phone and keeping it to the side, or keeping it in a different room. So you increase the friction it is for you to get distracted, and that makes it very easy for you to do the work that you're doing. Next one, you can get more done in 2 hours of focused work than like a day of distracted work. And I've noticed this myself. Whenever I spend 2 hours on only one thing, I make more progress on that than if I was to do it with like distracted effort, where I'm doing one thing for 5 or 10 minutes and I'm doing another thing for 5 or 10 minutes and I'm doing another thing for 5 or 10 minutes. Like by following that method of that 5-10 minute thing, the amount of work I would get done in 2 days is equivalent to what I would get done in 2 hours of focused work. So always do things in chunks. At the minimum, devote at least 1 to 2 hours to one thing, and only then switch the thing that you're working on. Don't do it like I'm gonna do this for 30 minutes and I'm gonna do this other thing for 30 minutes, or I'm gonna do this for 10 minutes, I'm gonna do the other thing for 10 minutes. Like, no. Devote 2 hours to one thing and then move on to the next and devote 2 hours to that. Next one. All success comes down to ignoring distractions. For teenagers, this is doom scrolling and playing video games. For millionaires, this is hopping from one business opportunity to another. It's what Alex Hormozy calls the woman in the red dress. This is the source of your distraction. If you think back to your younger self, there must be some hobby or something that you used to do, like tennis, playing the piano, or like whatever. Like, think to yourself, if you stuck to that, and if you focus on that one thing, imagine how good you would be at that one thing. So absolutely anything in your life that you haven't succeeded at is just because you got distracted. Like, literally, that is it. If you just stuck to something for 2 years, you would be very fucking good at it. I can guarantee you that. But 99.9% of people are just not able to stick to one thing, and that's why they don't make it. So just stick to one thing and ignore all other distractions. Next one, don't optimize for GPA in university. Literally all the things that are good in life in terms of being more socially proficient, developing the soft skills, starting the side projects you're passionate about, starting the side businesses, being healthy and going to the gym. Like literally everything comes from being away from your desk and just studying. Let me give you a little bit of a story. When I came into university, I was like, one of my goals is to get a really good internship, right? So I was doing a bunch of networking with like a bunch of professors and a bunch of people. And one of the professors I spoke to, I was like, well, what do I do to get the best internship possible? And he was like, bro, you need to stop optimizing for internship and you really need to stop optimizing for your GPA. Because he literally told me that literally everything in life comes from being away from your desk. Stop sitting at home and just studying. Like that is not gonna get you anywhere. Like, and this was, imagine, this was the professor telling me. The guy whose class I was in, the guy who was gonna grade me, he was like, stop studying, which is absolutely insane. When I was networking with people in order to get a good internship, I spoke to like 30 graduates, like 30 people that had been through the path that I had been through and had graduated now and were like just working places. So then I'm having these coffee chats with these 30 different people and I asked them, what is one thing you regret? You know what not even one of these regrets were? No person said that I wish I studied more. The answers were, I wish I started a business in college, I wish I was more social, I wish I did more extracurriculars. Not even a single one was, I wish I studied more. Then to take this a step further, I asked them, what's one thing you learned in the classroom that you still apply in your day-to-day life right now, like in your job? Not one of them, out of 30 people, not one of them could say anything. Literally all of them said, university is for the soft skills, for the relationships, for the side projects, for all these different things that you do. Not one of the learnings people could say is from the classroom. So stop optimizing for GPA. Next one, similar to how you obsess over which business idea to pursue and which skill to develop, you need to obsess over what kind of people that you surround yourself with. Like that needs to be one of your goals. Like apart from having a good car and a good house and a good business, one of your goals needs to be, I need to surround myself with these people. I need to actively work towards that. Because genuinely the biggest difference and the best way to get ahead of your peers, like at least for me, I'm trying to become richer than all my peers before them and like much more. And the only way you do that is by putting yourself in that environment that enables you to grow that much. Like if you're trying to like isolate yourself, or like if you're trying to like still hang out with these people, but you try to like cut your time down and just try to work towards your goals, the progress that you would make compared to them would not be that much. Like you would still be ahead of them, but not as much as if you were to surround yourself with people with the same goals, ambitions as you and are better at the thing that you want to achieve than you are. Like the amount of growth you will have there is so exponential, it's unparalleled. And that is the only way you make true meaningful changes and differences in your life from your peers is if you put yourself in those environments. So make this one of your goals and surround yourself and try your best to surround yourself with those people. I know it's not an easy thing to do, but it's a very necessary thing to do. Now this is the last one. I'm pretty sure we went over the 18 lessons mark. I think it's like 21 or something, but this is the last one. I define success as being like rich, successful in terms of like having a car, house, and being able to financially provide for yourself and those around you, but also being fulfilled at the same time. Like you really enjoy the thing that you're doing and you're making a difference to people's lives. So how Tony Robbins said, there's two factors to success and living a fulfilling life. It's the science of achievement and the art of fulfillment. And this is a bit of an advanced like stage from where probably most of you guys are at your life. But there's two things that you need in order to do this. One is like really understand the science of achievement, so really truly achieve something in your life and understand how you actually achieve something. And let me give you a hint that the way you actually achieve something is just being consistent and constantly improving. That's it. Like, that's literally it. And the next thing is the art of fulfillment. Is you need to have achievement in the thing that you are fulfilled in. And so you need both of these to live a fulfilling and good career. And the only way you know what actually fulfills you is by doing things and by helping people with things that you care about. So if like say for example like remember how I told you pain and joy are always next door neighbors? If someone was terrible looking their entire lives and got treated like shit, once they leveled up their looks and really focused on doing that, now they see how people treat them amazing and their life has changed and they love that. And they want to help do that same thing for other people. That is fulfilling to that one person. So it could really vary for what it is for you. Whatever you have the most pain in life as to what you did and what you overcame, helping others achieve the thing is, at least in my mind, a super fulfilling way to go about things. And if you're young and if you don't really know what that thing is for you yet, then like don't stress about it. It'll get clear with time. Like, we barely lived our lives, bro. We're so young. So you just need to do things in order to figure out what is it that you actually truly value. And it's just a question that's going to be answered with time. Alright, so if you guys stuck till here, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and found it useful. My goal with these videos is that even if it causes a change in even one of my viewers' life, like, that is my goal fulfilled. And so if you found it useful, it would be absolutely great if you left a comment down in the section below, because it just really makes me happy. Yeah. So you guys got this, bro. I believe in you guys.